We got to start on time. Apple Valley.
Photo walk. Come in from behind. All right, let's do this. Never. Come on, let's go for it. Yeah, I know. Nasty. All right. Never.
I just asked, but I don't. I looked at I was just asking. Right.
All right.
Good evening. Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Everyone got their seats? There we go. Today is Tuesday, October 21st, 2025, and the time is 6 p.m. The regular meeting of the following will come to order. The Victorville City Council and the same council sitting as the Victorville Library Board of Trustees, the Southern California Logistics Airport Authority, successor agency to the Redevelopment Agency, the city as a housing assets assessor, Joint Powers Finance Authority, and the Victorville Water District. Madam Clerk, will you kindly call the roll, please?
Councilmember Godin.
Here.
Councilmember Irving.
Present.
Councilmember Jones.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Harriman.
Here.
Mayor Becerra.
Here.
We have quorum.
Thank you. If you would all please stand for our invocation, our Pledge of Allegiance. Our invocation tonight will be led by Pastor Dane Davis. Thank you, sir. With Impact Christian Church, and our pledge will be led by Captain Jerry Davenport.
Thank you, Mayor Becerra, and thank you so much, Councilmember Jones, for inviting me to come to lead the invocation on this important evening. In 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31, the Apostle Paul writes, "So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God." I know, Councilmember Jones, that describes you. All of your service over the years has been done for your family. It's been done for your fellow council members. It's been done for this great city of Victorville. But I know your heart on this one. What you have done has been first and foremost for the glory of God. And in the final verse of 1 Corinthians 15, the Apostle Paul writes there, "Therefore, my dear brothers, let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain." And so I just want to, before I lead this prayer, let you know that nothing you have done has been in vain. Your reward awaits you up ahead. And I've been really reassured recently by the promise in God's word that when we work for Him, everything we do is totally meaningful. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the freedoms you give us in this great country, including the freedom to do good work for a variety of reasons, out of a variety of motivating factors. Lord, I thank you, especially, Lord, tonight on this special night for Councilmember Jones, that, Lord, she has served this city faithfully. and we know that she served you faithfully. And so as she enters this next chapter with her beloved husband, I pray, O God, that your hand would be upon them both, physically, emotionally, relationally, between themselves and their family, and spiritually most of all. And we pray, O God, for this entire council in this great city of Victorville and all the staff who help lead it. We pray for your hand to be upon them and that they would do all for the glory of God, knowing that our labor in the Lord is never in vain. It's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we're going to move on to special presentations, but first I'd like to thank a couple of our dignitaries that are in the audience, and forgive me, and I'm going to start from the back. Representative ex-Assemblymember Smitty Smith, ex-Mayor Jim Cox, ex-Mayor Ryan McCachran, current city council members of Apple Valley, Carrie Leon, Kurt, where'd you go? Kurt, sorry, see, I knew you were there. And come on, help me here. Whom, Scott Nassib, Dakota, who else am I, ex-city council member, and our assembly member, Tom Lackey. For the ones I did forget, I apologize. I'm looking around, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this special occasion. We will move on to our presentation of outgoing city council member Deborah Jones. If council would like to join me down on the floor. Yeah, we're gonna go first and then everybody else. No, you're fine. Deborah, today we're here to join with members of our city council in recognizing you for your service to this council, the city of Victorville. The citizens of Victorville elected you to the city council in 2018 and again in 2022. You've served 3 years as our mayor. Thank you for helping us build an even stronger Victorville. And on behalf of the Victorville City Council, I am pleased to present you with this plaque. At this time, I would like to introduce Keith Metzler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and members of the council, and to the fine audience that we have here this evening. Certainly, tonight's an emotional night for us as we're saying goodbye for now to Councilmember Jones, Deborah, as we know her. It started in 2018, and the one thing I can say about Deborah as a council member is that she has been an amazing steward of this organization. She's been a major supporter and proponent of good governance. I think it's easy to say confidently that with her leadership on the council back in 2018 and up until today, the city is in a much better place today than it was then. And a lot of that has to do with her big support for good governance for us. That means having a champion for a policy and procedures manual effectively to help provide orderly conduct of how not only we run meetings here, but certainly how we conduct ourselves all together. But on a serious note, she's been a major champion for something that we use even today and will continue to use into the future. And I think it certainly will be a lasting legacy, which is our strategic plan. We never had a true strategic plan before, and with Ms. Jones' leadership, we're into our second strategic plan, which as the manager certainly makes it much easier for a manager to lead the organization, because the goals established by the council are very clearly defined. They're deliberated, they're articulated by the council, and it makes it easy for us to execute on the will of the council. And without your steadfast support and promoting us putting together a strategic plan, I don't think we would have accomplished nearly as much as we have accomplished. You've been a big part of everything great in this city. And so I do want to say, as your city manager, but certainly representing and speaking for the 570 employees that are the city, I want to say thank you for your support as a council member, your support of staff, and for your vision and leadership in helping make this city much better than it was when you first started. And so, as one of our traditional tokens of appreciation, I do want to invite all of the executive team. I do want to invite all of the leadership team, because this is something that we do. It's actually very meaningful to us as employees, because this is something that we traditionally have made for our retirees that have served many years dedicated to the city. And with that, we want to bestow this upon you as our thanks for your support as staff to this organization. So department heads, execs.
It's outside introduction.
All right, our next presenter to outgoing Councilmember Jones is Corinne Mora with Congressman Obernolte's office.
Let's see. I get the honor of presenting the certificate of recognition on behalf of our Congressman, Jay Obernolte. It is quite long because you have many achievements, so I'm going to read some of it so the whole audience can hear, okay? It's, Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize and honor the service of Victorville City Councilwoman Deborah Jones. During her nearly 14 years of dedicated public service, Deborah has advocated tirelessly for the Victorville community and its citizens' most pressing concerns. Deborah is renowned in our community and a selfless and caring servant, and is a true friend to all who have the privilege of knowing her. In addition to her work in public office, Deborah has been deeply involved in education and community service. She co-founded Adelanto Elementary School District's first Special Education Parent Advisory Committee, served 2 terms on its governing board, and has devoted herself to volunteerism, philanthropic writing, and fostering parenting, particularly for infants prenatally exposed to illicit drugs. Deborah has also represented Victorville on numerous regional boards and commissions, including the San Bernardino County Transportation Authority, the San Bernardino Council of Governments, and the Victor Valley Wastewater Reclamation Authority. Her service on these bodies has been marked by professionalism, collaboration, and a deep commitment to transparency and good governance. Deborah has a profound impact on the Victorville community. Heather and I deeply appreciate her years of service and wish her and her family well as she enters the next stage of her already eventful and purposeful life. I ask my colleagues to join me in recognizing Councilwoman Deborah Jones and celebrating her departure. Oh, can we
Our next presenter to outgoing Councilmember Jones is Miriam Munoz with Tom Lackey. No? Separate? Assemblymember Tom Lackey.
It's all good.
Yes, that's right. Thank you.
Well, I was wondering exactly what I was going to say, but I will say this. I wasn't her favorite assembly member. And Smitty's back there. He knows what I'm saying here, but we worked it out. And I'm very appreciative of the leadership that you have out here. You have very engaged people, and you should be very proud of what you have out here, because over on the other side, where I reside in LA County, it's very challenging. We have some very difficult circumstances over there that they need some leadership. But you have really strong leadership over here. And San Bernardino County, there's quite a contrast between the two counties. I have Kern County also. You don't really care about them, but I have to. And that's where I was born. So I know that area very well. Nonetheless, I want to say thank you to your leadership, to your commitment level. It's very impressive to see people whose heart is into it. And I know she's done a great deal on the homeless front, and what a difficult problem that is, and continues to be. So I know that you still have work to do, but she's got you off to a great start, and I'm sure she'll be appreciated where she's going now. And this acknowledgement, I'm not going to read all the things she's done. You guys know what that is. But I will tell you that these aren't that easy, because this is a resolution. It's not just a certificate. It's a resolution from the entire legislature, both the Senate side and the Assembly side. That's why at the top it doesn't say Assembly, it says legislature. And that's why we have a representative from Suzette Valadares' office. We greatly appreciate the leadership that's demonstrated here. You should be very proud, and we're proud to, on behalf of the California State Assembly and the state legislature, I want to say thanks. So congratulations. Give you a hug. Thank you. There you go.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mary Munoz, and I'm the district representative for Senator Suzette Martinez Valadares, District 23rd. On behalf of our senator, we want to congratulate you and thank you for your 14 years of service. I've personally known you for a long time, met her through the special needs community. Thank you for your service that you did there, and then at the end with our military. So thank you very much for that. We wish you nothing but the best. We know you're going to continue to do the great things down the hill, even though it's a great loss for us. But you and Jean, congratulations on your new endeavor, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Our next presenter this evening is Dakota Higgins with First District Supervisor Paul Cook's office.
Deborah, where to start? First, I will say the county had this resolution, Your Honor, passed earlier today, We already had it printed. We were betting big that it was going to be a 5-0 vote. And everyone has skipped their whereases, but I just want to highlight one in this. Whereas Deborah Jones embodies the spirit of Helen Keller's famous quote, "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much." This philosophy is evident in her having spearheaded 2 key initiatives that required collective action: combating crime through expanded public safety and tackling homelessness. So this resolution is in your honor, but I'll just say, knowing you the way I have, first as just a staffer for an elected official, and then being able to serve on VVWRA with you as a colleague, I've learned so much. I've gotten to know you as a friend, and it's really my honor to know you and have called you a friend and to continue to call you a friend. This isn't, final, but we will miss you, and we want you to have all the best in your next endeavors and stay in touch.
Our next presenters this evening are the town council members from the town of Apple Valley. And I believe it's Kurt Emick, Carrie Leon, and Scott Nassif. Is our bishop here still?
Not our crew. Well, Assemblyman Lackey said it best. Deborah really has brought some leadership to the valley. She didn't waste any time reaching out to Apple Valley when you became council member here in Victorville, and bringing our region together and working for common goals was something that we shared interest in, as well as all the council members here in Victorville. I'd like to say I'm also representing the other cities around here, and the work that you've done and help bring this together. We've had some big accomplishments last week that Deborah and I work on VVWRA, which was something I was put on there 15 years ago. It only took Deborah 6 years to get it accomplished. So, so we appreciate everything you've done for our Valley, and looking forward to seeing your success in your future. And so this is celebrating 15 years of public service. We salute your service and commitment and dedication you have shown for the city of Victorville and neighboring communities as school board member, mayor, and council member, providing all the citizens a better way of life. We're thankful for exemplary leadership while serving our region, advancing good governance, community well-being, and promoting regional collaboration across the high desert. As you begin a new season, we wish you the very best in your future endeavors. So thank you so much, and appreciate everything. I'm going to see if any of my other council, Terry always has something.
I always have something to say. I just want to say I appreciate you. All of us appreciate you in this region, and you have done what everyone said. We love working together with you and getting things accomplished, and it always works well when the cities up here work together, and that's what we did, and we all accomplished that, and working together is the most important. So thank you so much. And we were mayor at the same time and had our mayor meetings, and we did get a lot of accomplished. So thank you, Deborah.
And I'll just say, on the religious side of things, God sent you our way for a purpose and a reason, and that is reflected through you. And it has been seen in numerous occasions, in various committees, in various meetings. And I can tell you, with my wife shaking her head, that is a true statement. So God bless you. Fantastic.
And while everybody walks back, the city of Hesperia was unfortunately unable to attend our council meeting tonight, as they too have a council meeting, but they did present Deborah Jones with a certificate of recognition, and it reads, "In recognition of your 7 years of exceptional service on the Victorville City Council and commitment to your community, the Hesperia City Council hereby acknowledges your contributions and expresses sincere congratulations on your outstanding service." Madam Mayor, that concludes the presentations for outgoing Councilmember Jones.
Thank you very much. We're going to move on now to the rest of our council meeting. At this time, we're going to move on to a presentation of our annual operation report by Woodward and Curran. Mr. Metzler?
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Mayor and members of the council. Around this time every year, we do have a team that we rely on to help operate and manage and maintain the city's wastewater treatment plant, which is located out at the Southern California Logistics Airport. And so with that, we have some folks here from Woodward Curran. I'll start with Chris McMahon, Operations and Maintenance Area Manager, to lead the presentation on how things are going at your plant.
Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Okay. So I'm Chris McMahon. I'm the Area Operations Manager for Woodward and Curran. I brought Scott Goldman and Greg Sands, who are working on the capacity expansion project, with me to talk a little bit about that tonight. I'm going to quickly touch on the highlights from the operations year, and then they're going to dig into the expansion planning process and what's the future at the IWTP is. So our most important thing is safety first. We had another 365 days injury-free at the plant this year. All of our employees buy into the work safe process, and we have a very dedicated safety program that involves a lot of training to make sure that they're achieving that each year. We were recognized by the state by winning State Safety Plant of the Year this year, along with the Tertiary Recycled Water Treatment Plant of the Year. We also won for our dam section up here in the high desert. This is from CWEA, where we accepted the awards. We worked hard throughout the year to try and optimize the treatment facility. So we did figure out a new method for handling the industrial solids that come into the influent at the plant. Using the new process, we were able to save $472,000 that we'd previously been spending to dispose of these solids. We're now processing them through the facility. We did a lot of lab sampling to make sure it didn't damage the process, and we're continuing that into this year also. The IWTP has always been compliant. This year we did have one minor exceedance at the treatment facility for high EC, which is conductivity through the water. It was an operator error. From that, we learned some lessons. We modified the SCADA programming system at the plant so that our operators can't make a similar error. We also provided training to all the staff on this type of situation. Our expectation is to have zero compliance issues at our facilities, and we've continued that through this year. We've only had the single one that happened last year. On the maintenance front, we continue to maintain the treatment facility. We did a lot of critical electrical maintenance at the facility, cleaning out cabinets, replacing worn breakers, parts throughout the facility. We also conducted a evaluation of the MBR blowers, which are the largest component at the facility, largest mechanical component at the facility. They kind of run all the air for the biological process, which is the heart of the treatment facility. So when we continue to stock critical spare equipment to make sure that if there is an issue with equipment failure, we have something right away to put on the shelf. So we maintain treatment, recycled water, and compliance at the facility. We're all aware that as the facility and the city have grown together, we're starting to push the capacity at the facility. So currently we're well above the benchmark to be looking towards expanding the facility to meet future growth. Scott's going to elaborate a little bit on what that looks like and where we're at in that process.
Thank you, Chris. let's see. Yes. Oops. All right, not quite as tall. Yeah. Thank you. So I'm Scott Goldman. I'm a senior principal with Woodard and Kern and overall project manager for the design of the expansion. One of the objectives of the project is to accommodate future flow projections for the next 20 years to at least the year 2045. We want to also make sure we're continue to achieve compliance with the regulations, optimize the facility, make improvements that are needed, accommodate additional growth beyond 2045, and then also look to advance treatment opportunities in the future for additional reuse. So one of our first tasks, and we've been working on this project for about a year. So the first 6 months or so, we worked on the flows. What capacity do we need? What alternatives should we be looking at to maintain the most optimum facility? So this graph shows you the flow projections. There's 3 lines. The lowest line, the gray line, that's looking at your historical growth curve for flows and projecting that out in the future. The top line, the blue line, that's from your 2016 sewer master plan and the projections that were made then. So the team working with city staff, we then took those 2 projections and looked at what water conservation does to the flows, and we're a little more conservative on the projections, and we landed in the middle that we wanted to expand the domestic side. So the plant treats both industrial flow and the city's domestic flow. So we're expanding from 1.5 MGD to basically 5 MGD on the domestic side, and the industrial side is staying the same. And that will accommodate flow at least to 2045, depending on where the projections are. It could last the city longer. We also looked out to future flows and wanted to accommodate the next increment that we could identify. So we've laid the plan out to be able to accommodate up to 8 MGD of domestic flow at the plant. Let's see. The existing plant has the 2, whoops, I guess I didn't wait for it to adjust. So the existing treatment plant, which is the 2.5, the top part on this represents the industrial portion of the flow, which basically pre-treats the industrial flow. It gets blended in with the domestic and then goes through the existing treatments. Through the preliminary design phase, we identified new facilities. So because the plant right now treats about the same amount of domestic as industrial, it's now going to become a much bigger domestic plant. So we wanted to upgrade some of the headworks and preliminary treatment aspects, which makes the downstream secondary treatment process work more efficiently and effective. So this graph just shows you kind of the areas of the plant that we're accommodating. And we have since advanced the design of the plant to the 30% design level. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Greg Sands, who's leading the technical design team.
Good evening, I'm Greg Sands. I'm here to walk through what this improvement will actually look like. So to orient ourselves, on the left side of the screen here, we can see an aerial. Most notable is the airport. In the upper right-hand corner of the airport, or northeast corner, is the existing IWWTP site. On the right half of the graphic here, we see the existing facility. The largest structure that you see there is where the treatment process occurs. On the right half of the facility is the industrial pretreatment. And then on the left side is where the industrial and domestic combined get treated. You can also see a couple other support structures at the existing site. So this is that existing 2.5 facility. This is what we, This is what we think the future is going to look like based on the development of the project to date. It starts with the existing facility. Like Chris mentioned, that's the heart of what's happening out there. We want to optimize that and leverage as much existing infrastructure that you've already invested in as possible. So we'll start out with optimizing what you have. What you see in these colored boxes are the additional improvements that are going to get you up to that 5 MGD domestic, 6 MGD total treatment. There's a Headworks facility in dark blue, primary clarifiers in red. Those will flow into the fine screen and intermediate pumps in yellow. At that point, the flow will go back into the existing structure. And then after it goes to the existing structure, it'll go to the purple facility. That's a UV disinfection facility. And then we need another support building. There'll be that green electrical building to help accommodate all the additional loads associated with these improvements. This will get us through at least 2045 based on the graph that Scott had shown, so likely somewhere between 2045 and 2055. We also have an eye towards the future. Nope. So when we talked about how to make sure that this facility is able to adapt over time, we're also looking at how to transform this facility to do 8 MGD sanitary and another 1 MGD of industrial for 9 MGD total. So we've looked at how to wisely and incrementally size the new infrastructure to support adding equipment over time so you can gradually increase, as well as constructing the light blue box that we now see to the far north. That new improvement with everything else that we've adjusted to puts you well past 2055, gets you to a 9 MGD total facility. But it's a way that we can gradually kind of right size the improvements that you're getting over time. So we're never overbuilding, we're never creating stranded assets as we go. I know there's going to be a lag. There we go. As Chris mentioned, the time is now to start planning for this. We're wrapping up the 30% design this month. We're excited to get started on the 30% to 100% design, essentially as soon as the city has reviewed that 30% document. At that point, we anticipate that there'll be a short lag to get to the procurement stage, and then we think there'll be about a 2-year construction window. We are working with city staff to try to figure out how we can see some of the benefits of construction as soon as possible in terms of capacity, so we don't have to wait for all the improvements to be completed before we can start having larger throughput. The longer that it takes to get through the construction, the more bypasses might be needed to the regional facility. So there's a impetus to try to keep the project moving along and reducing the number of bypasses. Along with this, with the 30% design, we are coming up with a funding plan. It starts with understanding where the city is at, what your rates can support, what you've been planning for, and what you have in reserves. With that information, we'll look at funding programs that are available. We'll try to figure out which ones we think the city can be competitive for, and that might make sense to try to structure the project to be well suited to win. And then we need to look at how that might inform the timing of the overall project. So some of these funding programs kind of run on their own cycle. We'll have to try to figure out where it makes sense based on the money available and the restrictions in the program, where to kind of adjust and meld things together so that we're able to deliver the project as quickly as possible. And with that, we'd just like to say thank you. We appreciate your trust in operating the facility and working on this expansion, and we've really valued our partnership over 15 years now. Thank you.
Nothing else, Mr. Metzler?
Nothing further from staff.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, will you present the agenda and any revisions there too?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There are no revisions to the agenda this evening.
Thank you very much. At this time, we're going to move on to public comments. Madam Clerk, are there any requests to speak?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Welcome to tonight's meeting of the Victorville City Council. Your City Council is interested in your ideas and opinions, and furthermore endeavors to incorporate them into its deliberations. At the same time, the Council must be able to carry out its business in an organized and efficient manner, free from material disruption. Therefore, this meeting will be administered in accordance with the Council's established policies and procedures in Government Code Section 54957.9 and 54957.95. Individuals may speak on agenda items or on issues not posted on the agenda during the public comment section, provided those issues are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. Individual speakers may address the council once per public comment period and once per each public hearing item for up to 3 minutes. Additional time may be allocated for appeal hearings in accordance with the city's adopted policy and procedure manual. Those who desire to comment on a public hearing item may wish to reserve their remarks until that particular public hearing has been opened. All testimony is to be directed solely to the council. Although open meeting laws do not permit council members to engage in dialogue with any speaker during the public comment period, please know your comments and questions may be taken into consideration by council members when discussing the particular agenda item. The presiding officer may briefly respond or have staff respond to statements or questions, or may request that the staff report back to the council at a subsequent meeting. Speakers are requested to comment as briefly as the subject permits. Once comments are invited, the speaker will be called on by name, then recognized by the presiding officer. The speaker will state the item number that will be addressed or that the subject is a non-agendized matter. Audience members may not disrupt, disturb, or otherwise impede the orderly conduct of this meeting, and those who do are subject to removal from the meeting pursuant to Penal Code 403. Your understanding and cooperation are appreciated. Our first speaker this evening is Terry Creek on a non-agendized item.
Yes, we are very concerned in our area where we live, the recreational vehicles that are driving out in the desert, they're driving on our public roads, and also the vehicles that are commercial vehicles traveling our roads over in the north side of Victorville. There are dump trucks and gravel and asphalt trucks that are doing construction in our area, but they're not supposed to be on our road. It's posted no commercial vehicles and a 25-mile-per-hour zone. And they're not following that at all. I don't think there's been any permits for those trucks to be on our road, and they're going to pick up more product and take it out to their construction sites. So we would like something done about that. Our road is in terrible shape, and we can't get any resolution for this. And then also the recreational vehicles and behind the house and on Elevado, very unsafe. So that's my issues. So.
Madam Mayor, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Elevado and what other streets?
It's like Hopland and Elevado.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Creek, do they have all your pertinent information as in a sense where we could make contact with you with these issues? Our city clerk?
We just need her telephone number.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Lauren H. on a non-agendized item.
Hi, everyone. I did not expect to be so touched today. I think that's beautiful, and thank you for your service. When the Assemblyman was talking about how great of leaders that we have in the city, I know none of you all know me. I've never met any of you. But just as a citizen living here for the past few years, I can see it. I can see it. Every time I talk to my friends, or I'm from LA, and people cannot fathom why I would buy a house and move up here. But Victorville, when I think about it, is just good soil. I feel like the city, because of all of your work, provide essential things that we need. I have I have a young family, but just the parks, the quality and cleanliness of the community, the rec sports, the fairs, like there's just so much to keep us safe and having fun and engage in our community. So I just want to thank you guys. The thing that I wanted to talk about today is the mailbox vandalization. Our mailbox, our cluster box was hit twice in the last 6 months. And the second time it was hit, it was literally right after the new box had got installed. So when I talked to USPS, they told me to talk to the sheriff. And when I talked to the sheriff, they told me to talk to USPS. So I'm like, maybe our leaders, our city can do something or have some type of information. When I go into the post office, there's always at least 20 to 40 people in line. I'm waiting no less than 30 minutes. I've been in there for upwards of an hour with my baby, with my kids. It's even thrown off the way that our mail is delivered. I'll get notifications that a package is delivered, so I'll go in a couple hours later and then I'm informed like, hey, you know, they might mark it as delivered, but they're not going to bring it into the end of the shift because, you know, it's one of the vandalized boxes. So it's just really thrown everything off. And now during my last visit, I was informed that if you have a vandalized box and you are buying something, like maybe you need a few stamps, you have to buy at least 10 stamps in order for them to get your mail. So it just really is like added hurt on top of an already bad situation, you know? And so I'm just really hoping that something can be done, whether that's more secure boxes or whether there's a way to surveil our boxes or whether that's individual boxes at our homes or, you know, I don't know. I don't even really know if you all are the right people to be talking to. But yeah, I really just wanted to come here and comment on that. I just trust from what I've seen that hopefully you guys can do something to help the citizens just fight this vandalization and just the horrible inconvenience and waste of time and money and gas that it's causing for us. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Norton, for speaking with us. Do they have all your pertinent information? We'll make sure someone with information on that gets in touch with you.
Our next speaker is John Schoenberger on a non-agendized item.
Good evening. I also wanted to address the mailbox problems. It's happened to us twice in the last 2 years, and it took 6 months to fix the first time. And like she said, it costs of gas, time. I'm retired, and I can't even find the time to go there and wait 45 minutes in line to get my mail, and then just to get junk mail or tell me that I don't have no mail at all, you know, after waiting there. I feel that they should, you know, offer us some kind of solution, like a free PO box to use, so we can just give us a key the first time we wait in line, and then access our mail that way, or put some kind of security device on the mailboxes so that doesn't happen. You know, like if it's someone jamming, banging on it, alarm goes off real loud, or like, you know, car alarm or something to deter the criminals, you know, and not the victims suffer from, you know, having to go there every day to get their mail, and then I incurred late fees. What do I do about that? Because I didn't get my mail, you know. Do I file a police report to prove that it wasn't my fault that I didn't pay the bill, you know? I mean, any suggestions from anybody? Do I file a police report to get that, to prove I didn't, you know, was it my fault? Yes. Okay, I think that's all.
Mr. Schoenberg, do they also have your information?
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Michael Ramos on a non-agendized item.
Good evening. Well, I've seen from a lot of the expansion going on in the water side of things, I can see how that's going to tie into my topic. I'm concerned about in particular, the water reclamation fees. In February 24, my wife and I left the area to care for my mother-in-law, who is on her final days. And but she has pushed through a lot longer than we expected. So when we went to shut down most utilities, I didn't shut down electric. You know, they don't have service fees, and I've been keeping my cameras on. But I shut my trash off. But they didn't allow me to reduce my expenses on water. So I pay $100 a month for nothing. I have no use of water, and yet I'm paying a ridiculous reclamation fee, which I'm not participating in. I understand service fees to cover maintenance issues that occur with the pipes and things of that nature. I can understand a sewer fee, it's still gonna rain, but the water reclamation fee I find to be just unjust. It should be based off usage. I don't know why it's not based off usage. I'm sure there's some formula that we can figure out what is being pumped out to the public and what is being returned, so it should be a per usage. And then that would probably take care of my issue, because I would pay according to my usage. But because it's a flat fee, I pay it whether I use it or not. And according to Prop 218, the fee should be proportional to use. So if I have no usage, I don't know why I have a fee. And that fee I've been paying now, in fact, I'm leaving Saturday to go back to South Carolina, And so I have a little bit of water usage this month, but you know, this $75, and it just keeps going higher and higher. So I don't know if these fees are funding this expansion. If so, we probably should have got a bond or something and financed it another way. I don't know that, so I may be speaking out of line, but it feels like we're funding it because I was looking at county fees. We have some of the highest fees for the reclamation. And I just don't understand how these fees get passed, and it's being adjusted every 6 months, getting higher and higher and higher. So I don't want to get into that side, whether or not, you know, the right people are doing the job, controlling costs, all those other business type things. But I will say, just according to state law, Prop 218, I don't see why I'm subsidizing those who are using the water because I'm not using it. So I don't see why a fee should be charged if I'm not. No water needs to be reclaimed from my usage. The service fees for the sewer, and I said the service charge, I can see those possibly being justified. I don't necessarily agree with them, but I understand I'm on the other side of that. So those two I can accept, but with no usage.
Your time is up.
Okay.
Mr. Rollins, do they have your information?
We do.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone will be getting in touch with you in regards. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Deanne Hudgens on a non-agendized item.
Thank you. Thank you, Deborah, for all your service, and it's been wonderful to be a part of your friendship circle as well. And stay in touch, and enjoy Jerry's seasonal things as I send you pictures. I want to just say I attended the majority of your presentation last night about Old Town. And having lived here since the earth cooled or shortly thereafter, and seeing the evolution of downtown, which is where we used to shop and do everything back in the day, I support that 1,000%. However, I don't think I'll probably live long enough to see what's going to ultimately be enjoyed by many, many people. I know you guys hear this. I hear it. I'm out in the community a lot. And I have people who are posting on Facebook, which I respond to, what a filthy, ugly, terrible, horrible, trash-ridden, homeless, continue with all those words, that Old Town is. Why are you bothering? Why are you doing this? Well, I don't have those feelings, those thoughts at all. I'm looking forward to people enjoying that again. However, I don't think we're going to be able to go from where we are now through the process that's going to get us to where we want to be. I think there needs to be some interim things along the way. Like, we have all winter now. How about come spring we start planning some farmers markets down there, some food trucks down there, some craft fairs down there that would get people more comfortable being there. And as those things, starting small, getting bigger, as the time came and we actually had real businesses down there, other, more regular kinds of things down there, people would be very comfortable to go take their kids down there for a stroll. The sidewalk areas and the sitting areas and all those kinds of things, they look so welcoming, and they're going to be really a nice place to be. I remember when, this is how long I've been here, I remember when the Hartwick's Center was built, not the Victor Plaza, the Victor Shopping Center, which is where the old Hartwick's used to be. And I actually attended the grand opening back in the day. And it was a great place, and there were swings, and there were places to be, and you could sit, and there was a candy store, and there was an ice cream store. And that's what I would hope to see in our Old Town, but I don't believe it's going to happen with one leap. I think we need to do it in stages. I don't think it's impossible, and I think it would be very successful for our whole community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Hudgens.
Our next speaker is E.T. Snell on a non-agendized item.
It's getting old ain't for sissies, I know that much. My name's E.T. Snell. My website's etsnell.com. You know, last time I was in Victorville, I was with Linda Wallace Pate. We were fighting for the 8 homeless foster children, homeless for 6 months. And, you know, after the lawsuit went down, nothing ever happened. You know what? I've taken on some pretty tough politicians in the day. Bill Postmus was one. Everybody loved him. So when I spoke ill of him, I had to deal with it. You know, I kind of looked for God to give me signs, and he gave me a sign tonight with that sanitary. So I'm going to name this portion of Clown on the Town Cable Access, Poop is the Scoop. I'm here basically to talk about Deborah Jones. I'm glad to see you're finally quitting. I remember when you showed up at an Adelanto council meeting with a school official. Boy, he's walking on his tiptoes and very soft-spoken. Of course, I remember when Anthony Riley, a single homosexual bachelor, sat on the Hesperia Unified School District. Then he moved to Barstow, sued him for $500,000 for violating his gay rights. You know, I remember Deborah Jones in Adelanto when myself and a few veterans were dying of cancer, were fighting for the legalization of medical cannabis. But when you spoke with some harsh, mean-spirited words. And I also remember the veterans with cancer turning red and sinking down in their seat after you were done speaking. So we finally got the legalization of marijuana down, and it was great for the veterans. I really think sometimes you're a good person, but I know for a fact that you're a horrible politician. I draw reference to Tiffany and her election. The manipulation of the election process, I remember your pastor also speaking of it, co-signing you, which it really didn't make any difference to you that a man of God and you and Deborah were lying, because from what I understand, the lady's house that you gave that address to where you were living, you and your husband were running a business out of your house in Apple Valley. You didn't even live here. Am I right or wrong? Thank you. Answers that question. To me, somebody that'll run and file phony papers, you know, politicians are like diapers. They need to be changed often and for the same reason. Politicians oftentimes change.
Your time is up.
Oh, it is? Oh, I would just say.
All right, enough. Sir, your time is up.
I would just like to
Our
say.
next speaker is Georgiana Clifton on a non-agendized item.
Oh, wow. So my line, Tiffany?
Your time is up, sir. Your time is up. Enough.
Councilmember Deborah Jones. If Mom, Dad, Sandra, or Jack was with us today, they would be extremely proud of your accomplishments. Love you, little sis.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That concludes our speaker cards for this evening.
At this time, we're going to move on to our first business order public hearings. Item 1, vacation of California Avenue excess right-of-way and CEQA determination. Mr. Munster, would you kindly introduce this item?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and members of the council. This item involves property, an existing right-of-way that was dedicated back in 1992
and affects property generally located at the southeast corner of Amargosa Road and Roy Rogers, effectively between Amargosa Road and the existing Home Depot retail outlet. And on that vacant property, there does exist a dedication for a proposed road. However, due to recent action undertaken by the Planning Commission to approve a new commercial retail development upon both of the properties at that location, it's been determined there isn't a need for California Avenue, which is the right-of-way that exists. And so therefore, this item to facilitate the development that's taken place at that location, there's been a request by the property owner to basically abandon or vacate the right-of-way. And so with that, this item is intended specifically for that purpose. This item has been authored by your city engineer, Mr. Freddie Bonilla, and he's available for any questions or comments you might have.
Madam Clerk, would you please read the recommendation?
That the Honorable City Council open and conduct a public hearing to consider the vacation of portions of roadway and landscape easements on California Avenue, hear evidence offered by persons interested in the vacation, find the vacation not subject to the environmental review under the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, pursuant to CEQA guidelines sections 15060C2 and 15060C3, and adopt resolution number 25-068 vacating the easement dedications as described and depicted by the exhibit attached thereto and ordering the recordation of the same.
Thank you. At this time, we'll do technical questions from council members. Councilmember Jones?
I have none. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councilmember Godin?
I have none, thank you.
Councilmember Irving?
No questions, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Mayor Pro Tem Harriman?
Yeah, just real short. The way I understand that, and I'll ask this so maybe people in the audience know, that we're just going to incorporate that now just to the parking lot. Is that correct?
The vacation of California Avenue will allow for both parking lot and building to be constructed upon that area.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
At this time, I'll open up the public hearing. Madam Clerk, are there any requests to speak?
No, Madam Mayor.
At this time, I'll now close the public hearing, and I invite a motion for this item.
Madam Mayor, I move that we adopt staff's recommendation as to points 3 and 4, with points 1 and 2 already having been disposed.
Second.
I have a first by Councilwoman Jones, a second by Mayor Pro Tem Harriman. Councilmember Jones, comments on the pending motion?
I have none. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Harriman?
I have none.
Councilwoman Godin?
I have none.
Councilwoman Irving?
No comments, thank you.
Madam Clerk, will you take the vote, please?
Councilmember Godin?
Yes.
Councilmember Irving?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Harriman?
Yes.
Mayor Becerra?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
We've now taken action to approve points 3 and 4 of staff's recommendation as presented on the agenda. We'll move on to our consent calendar, items 2 through 11. At this time, I'll invite a motion for this.
Madam Mayor, I move that we adopt staff's recommendation as to items 2 through 11 on the consent calendar with the recommendations set forth on the agenda and the council acting as itself and the various bodies on which it serves.
Second.
The first by Councilwoman Jones, a second by Councilwoman Irving. Madam Clerk, will you take the vote?
Councilmember Godin?
Yes.
Councilmember Irving?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones? Mayor Pro Tem Harriman?
Yes.
Mayor Becerra?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
We've now taken action on items 2 through 11 in accordance with recommendation as set forth on the agenda. Item 12, written communications, Cisco WebEx calling and contract center for mitigation project. Mr. Menser, would you kindly introduce this item?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council. This item involves a professional services agreement with the city and Logicalis. And this agreement is effectively allowing us to complete the transition and provide for a migration of our voice over internet telephone system to the cloud. And as it currently stands, and as you're largely familiar, we've undertaken for some time now an effort to ultimately reduce our dependency on local hosting for our technology systems. And we have largely transitioned to the cloud to host those systems. One of the last is our telephone system. And so this item will effectuate that transition, reducing the dependency on on-prem or on-premises hosting of data centers, in reducing our obligation to do on-site operation and maintenance of those older systems. And so with that, this item has been authored by your technology officer, Mr. Mazharul Islam. He's not here in attendance, but he is on Zoom and available for any questions or comments you might have.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, would you please read the recommendation?
That the Honorable City Council approve and authorize the city manager to sign a 4-year professional services agreement between the City of Victorville and Logicalis, Inc. in an amount not to exceed $599,851.36 for the implementation of citywide migration of the city's voice and contract center systems to Cisco's WebEx calling and contact center cloud applications.
Thank you. At this time, we'll do technical questions from council member. Councilmember Irving?
I don't have any, thank you.
Councilwoman Godin?
None, thank you.
Councilwoman Jones?
None.
Mayor Protem Harriman?
I just have one, once this is in place, Keith, nothing can happen like what happened before.
I can't say never, but certainly this transition to the cloud certainly is a part of our strengthening of our systems to prevent any cyber attack as we had in the past.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
At this time, I'll invite a motion for this item.
Move to adopt staff recommendation as presented in the agenda. Second.
I have a first by Councilwoman Godin, a second by Councilwoman Irving. Councilwoman Godin, comments on the pending motion?
No comments, thank you.
Councilwoman Irving?
No comments, thank you.
Mayor Protem Harriman?
I have none.
Councilwoman Jones?
And thank you.
And I have none. Madam Clerk, will you please take the vote?
Councilmember Godin?
Yes.
Councilmember Irving?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Harriman? Mayor Becerra?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
We've now taken action to approve staff's recommendation as presented on the agenda. Item 13, Southern California Edison easement on Monte Vista Road and Luna Road. Mr. Metzler, would you kindly introduce this item?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council. This item involves a residential tract map that was recorded back in September of 2022. And that tract map does require the provision of utility services as it relates to this item, electric utility services. And Southern California Edison is the electric utility provider in this area. And what this item does is effectively allows the use of lots that have been granted to the city predominantly for landscaping purposes, lots that would effectively become your LMAD. And it does provide for easements to Edison so that Edison can actually construct their necessary facilities to ultimately energize what's built in the tract. And so with that, the author on this item is Freddie Bonilla, your city engineer. He's available for any questions or comments you might have.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, would you please read the recommendation?
That the Honorable City Council grant exclusive utility easements to Southern California Edison on assessors parcel numbers 3133-34167 and 3133-34170 as described in the attached documents, and authorize the city manager to execute the easements on the city's behalf.
Thank you. At this time, we'll do technical questions from council members. Councilmember Godin?
I have none, thank you.
Councilwoman Jones?
And thank you.
Councilwoman Irving?
No questions, thank you.
Mayor Protem Harriman? I'll invite a motion for this item.
Move to adopt staff recommendation as to points 1 and 2 is presented on the agenda.
I have a first by Councilwoman Godin, a second by Mayor Protem Harriman. Councilwoman Godin, any comments on the pending motion?
No comments, thank you.
Mayor Protem Harriman? Councilwoman Irving?
No comments, thank you.
Councilwoman Jones?
Yeah, well, I certainly wouldn't want to hold up KB Homes. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, will you please take the vote?
Councilmember Godin,
Yes.
Councilmember Irving,
Yes.
Councilmember Jones,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Harriman, Mayor Becerra.
Yes. We've now taken action to approve staff's recommendation as presented on the agenda. Item 14, Capital Project Needs Analysis Report for San Bernardino County Transportation Authority. Mr. Metzler, would you kindly introduce this item?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and members of the council. This item satisfies a procedural requirement involving SBCTA, which is the San Bernardino County Transportation Authority. As we're used to doing, submitting similar type of documents to support the capital improvement needs throughout our roadway system. This item is particularly being asked for and required to satisfy the eligibility for certain other types of transportation funds. And so with that, this item speaking specifically to improvements along Mojave Drive, proposing to take Mojave Drive from Condor to I-15 from 4 to 6 lanes, and then adding a signal at 6th Street intersection with Mojave Drive. So with that, the author on this item is your city engineer, Mr. Freddie Bonilla. He's available for any questions or comments you might have.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, would you please read the recommendation?
That the Honorable City Council approve the submission of the Capital Project Needs Analysis Report to the San Bernardino County Transportation Authority for fiscal years 2026, 2027 through 2030, 2031.
Thank you. At this time, we'll do technical questions from council members. Mayor Pro Tem Harriman? I have none. Councilwoman Irving?
No questions, thank you.
Councilwoman Godin?
I have none.
Councilwoman Jones?
And thank you.
I'll invite a motion for this item.
Madam Mayor, I move that we adopt staff's recommendation as presented on the agenda.
I'll second. I have a first by Councilwoman Jones, second by Mayor Becerra. Councilwoman Jones, any comment on the pending motion?
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
And I have none. Councilwoman Godin?
I have none, thank you.
Councilwoman Irving?
No comments, thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Harriman? I have none. Madam Clerk, will you take the vote, please?
Councilmember Godin,
Yes.
Councilmember Irving,
Yes.
Councilmember Jones,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Harriman, Mayor Becerra.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
We've now taken action to approve staff's recommendation as presented on the agenda. Item 15, amendment number 1 of the professional services provider agreement between the City of Victorville and Simba Center for the Wellness Center Wraparound Shelter Operator. And EMF3 Service Project JM 23-065-1. Mr. Metzler, would you kindly introduce this item?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and members of the council. This item involves a contract that we entered into back in May of 2025. And that was after we completed a competitive solicitation to effectively bring on a single operator of our Victorville Wellness Center. And as you know, the Wellness Center is a 170-bed wellness and recuperative care facility intended to provide support to those in need and are among our unsheltered population. And as we developed a scope for that solicitation, we actually had respondents and ultimately awarded the contract to Simba Center. As a part of that award, Simba Center submitted a business model, and we accepted that business model as a part of the award, a business model that effectively depended upon a number of funding sources, including the administration of CalAIM through the IEHP. Since that time, there's been some changes in how IEHP and CalAIM funds are being administered, which has actually been a direct negative impact to the revenue side of our collective operations at the Wellness Center. And so this item effectively has been the product of working directly with Simba Center, creating this amendment and restructuring some of the financial arrangement with them in terms of the subsidy and how the subsidy that we've offered is to be administered. But this item, one thing this item does not do, just to be clear, is increase the appropriation that we've already appropriated in connection with the award and budgeting of this contract. And so with that, the author on this item is Mr. Alex Hadegui. If he's not here, then Mr. Scott Webb will be available for any questions or comments you might have.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, would you please read the recommendation?
That the Honorable City Council approve Amendment Number 1 to the Professional Services Provider Agreement with Simba Center, authorize the city manager upon consultation with the city attorney to make non-substantive and/or clarifying changes to said agreement as needed, and authorize the city manager to execute said amendment and any supplemental amendments to the agreement that do not result in an increase in compensation to the consultant in excess of the amount set forth in Victorville Municipal Code Section 2.28.060E3B and are similar in nature and scope to those contained in the attached amendment to preserve service continuity.
Thank you. At this time, we'll do technical questions from council members. Councilmember Jones?
I have none. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councilwoman Godan?
I've had all my questions answered. Thank you.
Councilwoman Irving?
I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Harriman? The only question I have for you, Mr. Metzler, is with these cutbacks of IEHP, are they directly affecting our veterans that are at our homeless center?
Madam Mayor, I can't speak to that. Maybe Mr. Webb or Mr. William Lamas, who is our homelessness solutions manager. Between the two of them, I'm sure we can answer that.
Thank you, Mr. Metzler. I'll defer to William Lamas since he's there at the shelter daily.
Can you repeat the question, Madam Mayor?
The cutbacks that Simba Center started receiving from their IEHP, do they directly affect any of our veterans at the homeless shelter?
No, Madam Mayor. The cutbacks won't affect the veterans and the veteran services that we provide. Not only do we get services from Simba Center, but we augment with U.S. vets coming on campus to provide additional services as well.
Thank you, sir. That's it. I'll invite a motion for this item.
Yeah, Madam Mayor, I move that we adopt staff's recommendation.
Second.
I have a first by Councilwoman Jones, a second by Councilwoman Godan. Councilwoman Jones, comments on the pending motion?
No, I have none. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councilwoman Godan?
I do. Thank you, Madam Mayor. While I know the Wellness Center has exceeded our expectations since its opening and has provided treatment and a second chance for many individuals within our community, and I'm all for going through and cutting back in areas where we can cut back and saving where maybe we're spending a little bit more than we need to. And I just hope that as we move forward, we continue to see the same quality given to our residents as we've seen in the past, and that this will improve financially our situation, but also continue to provide exceptional care to those in our community. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Irving?
Yes, I only want to say, I do have comments. I'm very pleased that we've been able to work things out with Simba Center because it's very important that we continue to provide the services that we do at the Wellness Center. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Harriman?
I would just reiterate what the previous two councilwomen said. Simba Center's done an excellent job, and I'm looking forward to them retaining and staying with us.
And I just have the same thing, Mr. Lamas, for you and your staff. Thank you for everything you guys do on a day-to-day basis out there, and thank you to the Simba Center. Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, will you take the vote?
Councilmember Godam?
Yes.
Councilmember Irving?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones? Mayor Pro Tem Harriman?
Yes.
Mayor Becerra?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
We've now taken action to approve staff's recommendation as presented on the agenda. Item 16, California State Library Grant Fund Acceptance for ZIP Book Project. Mr. Metzler, would you kindly introduce this item?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and members of the council. Zip Books is a program that we administer at the Victorville Library, and it's actually supported through a grant program with the California State Library. And so with that, similar to acceptances we've done in the past for funds like this item is being brought forward for your consideration so that we can continue to receive funds and support the ZIP Book program. The item is authored by your Community Services Director, Ms. Donna Meester. She can answer any questions or comments you might have.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, would you please read the recommendation?
That the Honorable City Council adopt a resolution number 25-074 and number 25-075, thereby accepting grant funds from the California State Library, providing the city with $10,317 to aid in the expansion of the Zip Books project. Authorize the city manager or his designee to finalize all documents needed to execute the grant contract, and amending the annual budget for fiscal year 2025-2026 to reflect an additional appropriation in the amount of $10,317.
Thank you. At this time, we'll do technical questions from council members. Mayor Potem Harriman?
Yeah, the way I understood this, the books get returned to the library and we get to keep them.
That is correct.
And we already do that at the existing library?
That's correct.
Okay, and it's been awfully successful, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have.
Councilwoman Jones?
None, thank you.
Councilwoman Godian?
I have none, thank you.
Councilwoman Irving?
I don't have any questions, thank you.
And I'm gonna help our Mayor Potem here. Mr. Messer, can you kind of go there to the front, how it starts, how we get to keep the books?
I can, but I'm going to allow Ms. Meester to describe it because she will describe it a lot better than I can.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. So it is a very easy process. You just go online, library card holders, you fill out the application, we order the book through Amazon, it gets delivered to your home. When you are done, you bring it to the library and it goes into our general circulation.
There we go. And these are pre-approved books from a list already approved for age-wise, correct?
There is not a specific approved list, but we do look at every request and make sure that it falls within our format, our philosophy, and what we serve.
Thank you very much. I'll invite a motion for this item.
Move to adopt staff recommendations as to points 1 through 3 as presented on the agenda.
We have a first by Councilwoman Godian, a second by Mayor Potem Harriman. Councilwoman Godian, any comments on the pending motion?
No comments, thank you.
Mayor Potem Harriman, comments?
I have none. I hope you can hear me. My mic is not working. There it is. There it is. I have none.
Councilwoman Irving?
I only want to say that I think that the Zip book project is very cool, and I'm glad we will continue and expand our services. Thank you.
Councilwoman Jones?
None, thank you.
And I have none. Madam Clerk, will you take the vote?
Councilmember Godian?
Yes.
Councilmember Irving?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
Mayor Potem Harriman?
Yes.
Mayor Becerra?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
We've now taken action to approve staff's recommendation as presented on the agenda. Item 17, Building 701 Demolition Standard Construction Agreement Amendment 1, Project CC 25-134. Ms. Romenser, would you kindly introduce this item?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and members of the council. This council, acting as the SCLA Board of Directors, had previously approved an award of contract to Vertex Civil for the ultimate demolition of a building located at SCLA, referred to as Building 701. This building is located at the entrance just to the west side of the main gate to the airport, which effectively is the gate closest to the air traffic control tower, along with Fire Station 319. And so with that, we've pursued demolition of this building for a couple of reasons. First, to basically prep the land and be able to pursue new land development opportunities at that location. The building that exists doesn't have any useful value to the airport authority. And then secondly, it certainly provides as an immediate opportunity to clean up an eyesore at that front entrance. And so with that, we are on site with the contractor. Unfortunately, as the contractor got on site, and as is the case with many of the old military facilities that we work with at SCLA, we ran into some surprises, and in this particular case, the surprise was asbestos containing material in false walls and false floors that were not identified or included as a part of the original scope. And so with that, this amendment actually is intended to take on that additional scope of course, provide for additional costs associated with that work. The important thing to take from this is that this item, notwithstanding the additional costs, will not require an additional appropriation from the airport's budget. And so with that, while we have relied on Vertex for ultimately the quoting of this work, we actually compared it to the unit prices to the competitors that have bid originally on this project and have determined the pricing as fair and appropriate for the nature of the scope of work. And so with that, the author on this item is your airport director, Mr. James Morosky, and he's available for any questions or comments you might have.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, would you please read the recommendation?
That the Southern California Logistics Airport Authority Board of Directors approve Amendment 1 to the Standard Construction Agreement with Vertex Civil LLC for Building 701 demolition project number CC 25-134, increasing the total not to exceed compensation amount by $207,850 from $355,360 to $563,210, and increasing the total number of days to complete the project by 30 days.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, we'll do technical questions from council members. Councilmember Jones?
Yeah, just a quick question if I could, Mr. Metzler. I mean, going from 207,000, going from 355 to 563, that's over a $200,000 increase. Is all of that really to deal with the asbestos issue?
Largely, yes, but I'm going to let Mr. Morosky explain that further because I think the work is a little bit more extensive than the underlying scope.
Yes, thank you. Madam Mayor, members of the council, yeah, this item is for the false walls and false floors found within the building. So there was actual non-hot or non-asbestos containing material drywall that was actually plastered over asbestos containing material drywall right behind it. And that was not identifiable. And also with the false floor, the floor tiles and also the mastic also contain that asbestos material as well. And so with the contractor, they cannot use their regular machines to abate the asbestos products. And so with that, they have to do it by hand, which also drives up that unit price for doing the work.
So just a general question, when this went out to it was a bid, right, RFP process, and we granted them this contract. I'm presuming there was something in the contract that allowed for reasonable and unanticipated kinds of issues. I mean, who would think about false walls and false floors?
So yeah, when we put the bids together, we also do our surveys and our testing beforehand, just to make sure that the materials or anything are identified. And with this, our staff would have to have cut through the walls and the floor to find the other hidden materials. And so this one just came at a big surprise for us with this additional work. And so usually when we go into these projects, we do add an additional type scope to where we can allow for anything that might be extraordinary, but this one was beyond what we could find initially.
I mean, there would have been no reason to cut a hole in a wall to look for something that you would have no expectation was there. Is that fair?
That's correct.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councilwoman Godin?
I have none, thank you.
Councilwoman Irving?
No questions, thank you.
Mayor Protem Harriman?
Yeah, I'm kind of sad to see that building go. It was ugly and it looked like the old airport. Anyways, that's it.
We'll bring you a block. I'll invite a motion for this item.
I move to adopt staff's recommendation as set forth on the agenda, Madam Mayor.
I'll second. I have a first by Councilwoman Jones, a second by Mayor Becerra. Councilwoman Jones, comments on the pending motion?
Yeah, just quickly, I mean, I have to say hats off for one ounce less of asbestos in Victorville. I'm going to say I'm happy for. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councilwoman Godin?
None, thank you.
Councilwoman Irving?
No comments.
Mayor Protem Harriman?
I already made mine.
If we could get a block, James. Madam Clerk, will you take the vote, please?
Councilmember Godin?
Yes.
Councilmember Irving? Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
Mayor Protem Harriman?
Yes.
Mayor Becerra?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
We've now taken action to approve staff's recommendation as presented on the agenda. Item 18, approval and adoption of revised publicity available pay scales to comply with CalPERS regulation. It's a mouthful. Mr. Metzler, would you kindly introduce this item?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and members of the council. This item is similar to an item that you attended to at the last council meeting. And at the last council meeting, you were dealing with a single fiscal year, whereas in this particular item, this is actually going back several fiscal years, correcting the items requested by CalPERS, including actually no longer rounding salaries on the salary schedule. And so with that, being that it's similar just for preceding years, you should be generally familiar with this item. But it has been authored by your Human Resources Officer, Ms. Heather Barber, and she's certainly available to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, would you please read the recommendation?
Staff recommends that the Honorable City Council adopt Resolution Number 25-073, approving and adopting an updated comprehensive master salary schedule from fiscal year 2021-2022 through mid-year 2024-2025, incorporating all revisions and amendments in accordance with Title II of the California Code of Regulations, Section 570.5, in the California Public Employees Retirement System.
Thank you. At this time, we'll do technical questions from council members. Councilmember Jones?
I have none. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councilman Godin?
I have none.
Councilman Irving?
No questions, thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Harriman?
I have none.
And I have none. I'll invite a motion for this item.
Move to adopt staff recommendation as presented in the agenda.
Second.
I have a first by Councilman Godin, a second by Councilwoman Irving. Councilman Godin, comments on the pending motion?
No comments, thank you.
Councilwoman Irving?
Comments, thank you.
Councilman Jones?
None, thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Harriman?
I have none.
Madam Clerk, will you please take the vote?
Councilmember Godin.
Yes.
Councilmember Irving.
Yes.
Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Harriman.
Yes.
Mayor Becerra.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
We've now taken action to approve staff's recommendation as presented on the agenda.
Madam, sorry, Madam Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I need to leave. Yes, and I just want to say, we're going to miss you, Member Jones, and on a personal note, I'm going to really miss you. Don't cry. All right.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Item 19, City Manager's Reports. Mr. Metzler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and members of the council. Do have a few items to share with you, just ongoings within the organization. So first, on the animal services side of the house, our team will be at the VVC campus for a special Halloween-themed adoption event on Saturday, October 25th. That'll be from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. and again on Thursday, October 30th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. That'll be an opportunity to stop by, meet some of our adorable pets looking for their forever homes. For more information about adopting or fostering, we have all that information on our website. On the building side of the house, Victorville is about to get its very first Raising Cane's. I've seen it come out of the ground fairly quickly. Last week, the final inspection was completed for that new location on Roy Rogers Drive, and it's expected to open very soon. Community services, our annual Halibou drive-through event is coming up Friday, October 24th. You'll be able to join us at City Hall parking lot from 6 to 8 p.m. For a fun, safe, and free trick-or-treating experience. Costumes and car decorations are encouraged. Engineering side of the house, construction for Phase 5 of the VMIS gas project started last week and is expected to be completed within the next 3 weeks. The final phase will complete the replacement of old gas mains at SCLA, fully transitioning service from Southwest Gas to our new Kern River metering station. And so with that, I think the excitement there is we've actually completely gone away from the old gas system that we inherited from the military. And then also work on the 2025 citywide street improvement project is tentatively scheduled to begin the week of October 27th. Will include restriping of Green Tree Boulevard between Code Road and Ridgecrest Road, as well as adding new sidewalks along Village Drive between Puesta del Sol and Tawny Ridge. On the environmental program side of the house, the last Shred Fest and Compost giveaway of 2025 will be on Sunday, November 1st from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And the city of Victorville recently donated a pallet jack and weight scale to Rockin' Our Disabilities Foundation, a local nonprofit supporting individuals with special needs. And with that, I do have the projects of interest list that I'll forward to you, and you can see the detailed activity of all the projects that are going through the development queue. And so with that, that's all I have, Madam Mayor, but I do want to say once again, To Councilmember Jones, thank you for the years of service. It's been a truly an honor and a pleasure to work with you over the years. I'm very proud of everything that we've been able to work on together.
Thank you.
Item 20, discussion and possible action regarding upcoming agenda items. Councilwoman Godan?
I have nothing.
Councilwoman Jones? We'll bring it about, but.
I have nothing. Thank you, Madam
Mayor
Mayor.
Pro Tem Harriman?
I have none.
And I have none. Item 21, reports from council members. Council members, I'll give you some leeway. Any comments, questions, concerns you'd like to bring up, go ahead and do it at this time. Let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to stop with Councilwoman Jones going last. Councilwoman Godan?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to say thank you to Councilmember Jones for all of your leadership, not only within the city, but for guiding myself as well, and all of the things that I've been able to glean from just watching you in your role, everything that you've done for this city to move it forward. And I know that the rest of my council members and myself will do our best to continue that. And I know that you will always love the city of Victorville, and you've definitely left your stamp here. And so thank you for all that you've done.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Harriman?
Yes, well, Councilwoman Godan is a much better speaker than me, but I just want to say thank you so much, Deborah, for everything you did for me. I don't think I would have had the courage to run for city council if it wouldn't have been for you. Nominating me for the planning commission, it just was, you know, something that I had thought about for years, and I just got caught up in raising boys, and then came back, and I just, you know, there's just so much that you've helped me with. Your husband helped me put signs up and everything. So I want to thank you so much for your guidance and helping me. Thanks.
Along with what my fellow council member says, thank you for everything you did for the city. You'll be remembered. Thank you. And now I'll end with you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Let's see if I can do this in 3 minutes. Well, this is my final meeting as your city council member, and my heart is full. It has truly been the profound honor of my life to serve this beautiful city and the people who have made Victorville home. First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior. His grace and guidance have carried me through every challenge, every decision, and every joy along the way. I thank my beloved husband, my love of 45 years, whose steady support, patience, and love have been my foundation. To my family, my sister Georgiana in the audience, my grandson Tyler, my soon-to-be granddaughter-in-law Destiny, my great-grandchildren to be Levi and Nico, and my son Joshua. They've been wonderful supports to me. I love them each dearly. I'm thankful for my dear friends, my pastors, and my church family at Calvary Chapel of the High Desert. I thank you all for your prayers, your encouragement, and faith in me. It's meant a lot and more than words can express. My guiding scripture through these years has been, "For the earth is the Lord's, and all its fullness, the world and those who dwell therein." That's Psalm 24:1. It reminds me that we are stewards, called to serve with humility, purpose, and care for one another. Looking back, I'm deeply proud of what we've accomplished together. We created our city's vision, mission goals, and strategic plan in 2020, giving us a clear path forward. We strengthened our finances to their best point in 15 plus years, and we've made thoughtful investments that will serve our community well into the future. We've celebrated remarkable progress in both economic development and public safety. Through Measure P, we expanded police and fire services, opened new facilities, and built a stronger, safer Victorville. And one of the efforts closest to my heart has been our work addressing homelessness. culminating in the opening of the Wellness Center, a place that continues to restore hope and dignity to so many lives. It has been my great delight to work alongside our city manager, Keith Metzler, our city attorney, Andre D. Bortnowski, a few fire chiefs, and our current fire chief, Chief Clemmer, our current captain, Jerry Davenport, Keith's team. We have 3 deputy managers sitting up here, Tony Camargo, Scott Webb, Janelle Davidson, and the entire team in Victorville. In case you don't know, the staff here, the team of Victorville, works tirelessly every day for every single person in this community. They are to be applauded. To my council colleagues, past and present, thank you for your partnership and dedication. We've shared challenges, yes, but we've also shared tremendous growth. Bob and Tiffany, I'm so proud of you, and I was glad to, in what small way I did, inspire you to the work that you now do. I also want to express heartfelt gratitude to the regional leaders I've been privileged to serve with through SBCTA, VVWRA, our recycling JPA, and other agencies. Collaborating with these dedicated men and women has strengthened Victorville's voice and connected our success to the vitality of our entire region. And I want to thank Victorville mayors who have served as examples to me over the years, those that have preceded me. Jim Cox, the pictures are right up there, Jim Cox, Ryan McEachran, and Gloria Garcia. Their leadership and dedication have shaped this city in lasting ways, and I remain and will always be grateful for their example. As my life is shifted for my family and me, a new chapter is unfolding. While it's not easy to say farewell, I do so with peace, gratitude, and confidence in Victorville's bright future. I know this city will continue to thrive because of the heart and the strength of its people. Thank you for trusting me, for walking beside me, and for allowing me to serve. You will always have my love, my prayers, and my unwavering belief in Victorville's promise. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
At this time, this meeting's adjourned at 7:41 PM.